Welcome to Top 10 Sports Media. In this video, we're taking a look at the best baseball video games in history. Which among these video games would you undoubtedly play all day long with your friends and family? Let me know your thoughts and leave them in the comments section down below. The best way for fans of Major League Baseball to get their dose, at least till the real thing is back, might be to fire up a baseball video game. Over the years, there have been hundreds of those, but 10 in particular, just a disclaimer, not all of which were connected to MLB, deserve a spot among the genre's all-time greats. We have compiled different baseball games just for you in this video, so sit back and come check this. The Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball. It only makes sense that the most recognizable player from the early generations is also the inspiration behind the most recognizable video game. The soundtrack alone helps players identify the game. They are familiar with the pixelated players' broad, muscular forearms and short, stick-like legs. Additionally, they are aware of the roster's funny names. While later iterations would receive the MLB license, the first ones substituted some rather creative names. The renowned John Waters' team, the Orioles, had a player by the name of Divine who could step in for Harold Reynolds. The Red Sox lineup is dotted with Cheers actors Cliff Clavin, Norm Peterson, and Sam Malone, while the California Angels of that era included Humphrey Bogart,
is looking at you, kid.
John Wayne,
Fill your hand, you son of a bitch!
and Fred Astaire.
I felt good, but something was missing. She was bad. She was dangerous. I wouldn't trust her any farther than I could throw her. But she was my kind of woman.
That level of star power is unbeatable. Baseball MVP in 2005, 88.
MVP Baseball 2005.
The MVP Baseball 2005 video game was created and released by EA Sports
EA Sports. It's in the game.
for the Nintendo GameCube. The San Francisco Giants announcers Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow provided excellent play-by-play commentary for the game, which received praise for its engrossing depth and polished gameplay.
He delivers. He pulls a ground ball to the left side.
The game gained praise for its inclusion of 15 historic ballparks, more than 100 vintage jerseys, and more than 60 historical players in addition to its two franchise modes, Manager's Mode, Exhibition Mode, and new Hitter's Eye control in many practice scenarios. Fans still yearn for the return of this series, the Baseball RBI. Not one of the RBI baseball video games released since Major League Baseball revived the franchise in 2014 are being discussed here. None of them, to put it mildly, are all that great. Of course, we're referring to the original Baseball RBI. Although not the original game of its sort, it was notable for being the first console game to have a formal license from the Major League Baseball Players Association. It was the first game to make use of the names and representations, if any, of real players. In addition, players' skills in-game matched those of their equivalents in reality. Roger Clemens and Nolan Ryan both threw hard. Vince Coleman moved quickly. Darryl Strawberry struck firmly. And as a result, gamers could now genuinely live vicariously via their favorite players. Even while the original RBI Baseball is undoubtedly out of date now, but it still has a distinct something that the reboot series has been lacking. It's possible that the charming theme song from the classic game is incomparable, as Chris Getz can attest. Next on our list is the backyard baseball. The number of people who use backyard baseball as a stepping stone into the sport is undoubtedly in the millions. based on the talks I've used to have with people in my life. Several of the greatest baseball video games ever made has been made possible by the combination of vibrant colors and straightforward, enjoyable action, especially for young players who might not feel a strong affinity for a team or a major league star.
I want to play baseball. Wait, does that mean you don't want me on your team?
We'll come back to you, Pete.
Although players from the major leagues took part in successive iterations of the game, including Chipper Jones.
Hi, I'm Chipper Jones. My real name's Larry, but don't tell anyone, okay?
Nomar Garcia-Parra.
He has developed into a superstar. Yes, he has. Didn't take long. Rookie season.
Here's the windup, the pitch, there it goes, and drove one deep. Is it? Yes, it is, folks. We've got ourselves a grand slam-a-rooney.
And Ken Griffey Jr., among many others.
My real name is George Kenneth Griffey Jr., but don't tell anyone, okay?
None have achieved Pablo Sanchez's level of popularity.
Excelente!
And that includes figures like Crash Davis.
Crash Davis got his nickname when he collided into a teammate chasing a pop fly ball as a teenager.
Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
His life.
Now pitch running for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Then Roy Hobbs. He might be the finest and most adored fictional baseball player ever created. The World Series Baseball 2K3, 89. The World Series Baseball 2K3 received the highest ratings for the Xbox release. The game had several other playing mode settings along with an enlarged franchise mode and had significantly better graphics than its predecessor. The game received appreciation for its fluid graphics, highly detailed center field camera option, and 3 batting modes: regular, curse and power, and timing, as well as for its realistic center field camera action. The only complaints were the game's sluggish base running and excessive crowd noise. Wii Sports. Wii Sports was the first game that many gamers played on the Nintendo Wii because it came with the console when it was initially released. Despite how straightforward the game appeared, it had an immediate impact. That demonstrates how well Wii Sports used the revolutionary motion controls of the Wii. Players had to mimic throwing and hitting gestures to be able to pitch and hit in a particular baseball mini-game. Admittedly, this was more effective in principle than in practice. The mini-games for bowling, tennis, and golf were more enjoyable to play than the ones for baseball, which had inconsistent motion to result from translation, and not so lifelike baseball action. Even so, the Wii baseball portion was worthwhile only for the home runs. It always was a pretty good substitute for the actual to swing, hear the bat crack, and watch the ball take flight. MLB Slugfest. Baseball arcade games aren't all that common. Perhaps it's the speed or the emphasis on statistics. Who knows? Maybe it has to do with the fact that suits with belts and buttons are inappropriate for an arcade. Slugfest was the closest thing to NBA Jam for baseball, which is why it doesn't exist yet. This was a blend of traditional baseball gameplay with an over-offbeat humor that still sticks out from the pack, complete with flame visuals and the option to start fights at any time. Honestly, the craziest aspect is really not that you could always slide tackle the catcher, but that there was also a choice to bunt.
Lays it down. Kennedy?
Baseball Stars. Baseball Stars was a baseball simulator that followed RBI baseball and had so much more improved graphics and also more refined, realistic gameplay. And what it missed in official MLB and MLBPA authorization is it is mainly composed with groundbreaking features. Baseball Stars was the very first console baseball game to let users design their customized teams and players. It made history by introducing the ability for players to compile their own statistics over the course of a lifetime's worth of games. Kids may now boast about hitting X home runs with player Y at school. Even Earl Weaver Baseball and RBI couldn't have been a more satisfactory proof of concept for the future of baseball games than Baseball Stars Baseball. Thanks to its highly realistic visuals and animations, it also holds up better than most games from its era. The MLB The Show. It's challenging to rank a game that is still in development because there are always elements you would like a game to get, and you anticipate the next edition will fix, in addition to the fact that it lacks the warm reminiscence of days spent hanging out with your pals. Finding fault with the show is challenging. It is unquestionably the most durable, cutting-edge video game ever created. Every method imaginable is accessible, including the option to build yourself and progress through the minors, which is the challenging, brave goal that almost every fan has. You can play in renowned stadiums or alongside legendary figures in online modes and tournaments. Last on our list, Out of the Park Baseball 16 to 91. Out of the Park Baseball 16's inclusion of numerous international leagues is one of its main draws. In addition to the leagues from Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, Cuba, Mexico, Holland, and Italy, the premier simulation game now features the Australian Baseball League. According to Metacritic, the PC version received overwhelmingly positive reviews, particularly for its fine-grained managerial detail that lets players oversee every little detail of managing a day-to-day, year-to-year franchise. 00TP16 is a success on all fronts, thanks to its complete gameplay and remarkable verisimilitude. So that concludes the best baseball video games in history video. If you have any further questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Are you looking for more sports-related videos? Of course, you do not want to miss our excellent and exciting videos, and be sure to check out our other videos for more great content like this. That's it for today. Until next time.
There goes that ball